Good afternoon, Facebook family. I am back in the land of Sydney, and I have been, actually, if I have to be honest with you all, I've been working today, but I have been so freaking tired. I don't think I've got jet lag. I think I'm just really, really exhausted. But it's all right. I've been pushing through and I have got a lot of work done. There's so many of you on the line. So before I keep talking about this, I want you guys to let me know that you're here. Let me know where you're from. Say hi. Leave me a comment. You guys know the drill if you're joining me live. So this is what I wanted to talk about because holy moly does this come up all the time when I'm talking to clients and I'm talking to people who either want to start a business or just in general, right? We care so much about what other people think, right? We don't do things because we care so much about what other people do or don't think about what we're doing. And if I have to be honest with you, when people tell me they want to start a business or when people tell me they want to start something new, it doesn't even have to be a business. When people tell me that they have something they want to do, something they want to achieve, I honestly have to say their number one fear, the number one fear that I hear, and this far outweighs so many other fears that I come across, right, is how do I get over caring what everyone thinks? I want to put myself out there, but I'm so scared about what everyone thinks of me. And I get it. I totally get it. And I'm not here to tell you that you need to become a hard-nosed bitch and just, not have feelings and that you need to become numb to these sorts of things, right? That's not what I'm about to tell you because we are all human and it is normal to feel like, oh my gosh, like someone has said something horrible about me or someone has criticized my work or someone has criticized how I'm feeling or what I'm saying or how I'm talking or what I'm posting. It is totally normal to have these sorts of fears, right? I get it. And it's not about becoming a hard-nosed bitch, but it's about understanding why we have these fears and how we can deal with it, right? How we can deal with it. Because I get so many people say to me, and it makes me laugh, even one of my best friends, Marnie, the other day, who you saw I went to LA with, I was talking to her heaps about her business over the entire, 10 days or so that we were there. And I was really helping her step into her zone of genius and just really break away from the fear that she was feeling. Hey, Ali, Serena, Terrence, who else we got here? Lucy. Thanks for joining me, guys. Let me know that you're here and where you're from. And I was really just helping her bust through that fear and take massive action, which she has. And I'm so proud of her for doing it. But she said something to me and it made me laugh. She's like, yeah, but live streaming just is so easy for you. Like, it's just so easy for you just to, get on there and post what you want to post about or get on there and just, do a live stream without any fear. It's just so easy for you. And I laughed because I'm like, but Marnie, it hasn't always been this way, right? It hasn't always been this way. Do you think I've always just, had confidence or not felt fear? Or do you think I still not feel fear? Like, that's absolutely insane to think that. I am human. Of course I feel fear. I feel fear every single day. I still care what other people think and don't think. But the difference is I don't let it define me and I don't let it determine what I do and don't do in my business or just in my everyday life, even if it has nothing to do with business. Because I have been there. I have been at that's part of your business where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get a voice. I need to go out and say something. I need to post something or I want to do it live stream, but I just care so much about what everyone thinks. When I came to peace with that, and thanks, Ali, when I came to peace with not caring about what everyone thinks and not in a way where I've become a hard-nosed bitch and I don't care, I still have feelings. Of course I still care. Of course it still bothers me. But the number one reason why it doesn't affect me and why it doesn't keep me stuck and why it doesn't stop me from still showing up every day and talking to you guys on a live stream and posting whatever the hell I want to post, the reason how I can do this is because I understand other people now. And this is what I want to do in this live stream is I want to help you guys understand. Hey Steve, hey Beck. I want to help you guys understand why people criticize, why other people feel the need to criticize you or put you down or pass judgment towards you. And it actually has nothing to do with you. And I know that some of you have probably heard this so much before. But the reason why people criticize us, the reason why people judge us is for two reasons, and two reasons only. And if you need to write this down, write it down. But I really want you guys to let this sink in. Okay? I really want this to let it sink in. Number one reason why people judge you, criticize you, or feel the need to comment or say nasty things or judge you in a way where you're kind of left going, oh my God, this person doesn't like me, or how embarrassing, whatever feelings come up for you. The number one reason why people judge you and criticize you is because you have triggered something within them unknowingly. You have said something to them, you have posted something, you have said something in a live stream that has triggered them, meaning you have triggered an insecurity or a fear within them. And when people aren't ready or willing to face their fears and to work through them, if something or someone brings that fear up for them, they're going to get defensive. They're going to get their walls up. And sometimes they're going to feel the need to say something to you and criticize you. So if ever someone leaves a nasty comment on a post that you do, if you run a business, if ever someone leaves a nasty comment on a Facebook Live that you do, or anything that you do, it's because you have said something that has triggered them. You have said something that has triggered a fear of theirs that they aren't willing to work through yet. And that is completely fine. It's not passing judgment on them because they're not willing to face it yet. You just need to come from a place of understanding and compassion. When I switched fear and upset of criticism to compassion and understanding, it changed everything for me. It changed everything for me. And like I said, not to the point where I'm a hard-nosed bitch and I don't care what people think, but to the point where I know and I understand now why people criticize, why people feel the need to make judgment or to say nasty things. Because I have said something that has triggered something in them. If anything, they should be thanking me, right? But when people, like I said, when people aren't ready, let this sink in. When people aren't ready to work through their own shit, if something brings it up, they're going to feel triggered, and sometimes they're going to react. And when they react, they will leave a post. They will criticize you. They will make judgment on you. So that's the first thing you need to understand. The second thing is, if someone passes a judgment or a criticism on you, and as egotistic as this may sound, and if you think that it sounds egotistic, then maybe that's something that's been triggered in you, but this is honestly the truth, because I know that these are all things I have felt personally before. And I've worked with a lot of people that have felt these same emotions. So the second reason why people will make judgment and criticize you is because they wish they could do what you are doing. Or they wish they had the confidence that you had. Or you are achieving something or have already achieved something that they wish they could achieve. And watching you do that is feeding their insecurity. And instead of looking at you and feeling admired by you and inspired by you, they will criticize you. They will try to bring you down to their level. People love bringing other people down to their level to make them feel comfortable. There is no magic solution to this, guys. And I think when I speak to people about this topic, and they're like, yeah, but it's so easy for you to just jump on a live stream, or you just don't care what other people think, right? I remind myself of these two things. And if you can let these two things really sink in and cement into your brain to the point that you know it, you believe it, you understand it. Lucy, mirror, mirror, exactly, Lucy. See, hell yeah, on point. If you can let these two things cement into your brain and remind yourself of this over and over and over again, and allow yourself to keep having a voice, and allow yourself to keep posting, to keep showing up, to keep doing live streams, and you can understand that if people criticize you, that it's for one of two reasons. You have triggered them, or they wish they could do what you're doing, or they wish they were where you are. When you can understand that, suddenly the fear of judgment, the fear of people not liking you or not liking what you have to say, disappears. Because you come from a place of compassion. When people criticize me, I just think, I wonder what it was that I just triggered in them. I wonder what it was that I just triggered in them. And if I have the opportunity to speak to that person, I will have that conversation. I will go, okay, so I've brought up this emotion in you. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. How have I triggered you? What have I said that has triggered you? What emotion or fear or insecurity is this bringing up for you? Sometimes you can't do that if it's online because you don't really want to start these sorts of conversations on a post. It's kind of something that you would take away from Facebook if people want to continue going with the conversation. But guys, I guess my point here is I get it. I understand why we care so much about what other people think about us. I get that fear of judgment and criticism is a real thing. I get it. But if you can just start to get and understand why people judge and criticize and say nasty things in the first place, you are suddenly not going to feel that fear. Yeah, things may be said where you kind of go, oh, okay, that hurt a little bit, that stung a little bit. But not to the point where it paralyzes you, not to the point where it stops you from taking any action whatsoever in your business, from showing up in a big way. One of the most liberating, freeing things in this entire world is letting go of the fear of what other people think about us. Because you know what? More than anything, it gets freaking boring. It gets so boring to stop ourselves from doing things, to stop ourselves from showing up over and over and over and over again because we care about what other people think. And I think a lot of people think, well, if I don't care, does that make me a bad person? No, it doesn't make you a bad person. It actually makes you a smart person. It makes you a smarter person. It makes you a more empathetic person. Understanding why people criticize and make judgment means you have a high emotional intelligence. EQ is everything in business, right? If you can understand emotional intelligence, if you can understand why people operate the way they do, such as I am explaining to you right now the true reasons why people feel the need to make judgment and criticize or say nasty things, it's the trigger, and it's because they, instead of looking up to you and feeling inspired by you, they feel threatened by you. Your lifestyle threatens them. Your confidence threatens them. They wish they could do what you're doing. So in order to make themselves feel better, they're going to go, come down to my level. When you can understand this, the fear of what other people think suddenly doesn't matter anymore. Because you're making it about you when it has nothing to do with you. And maybe you've heard this before, and I'm sure a lot of you have. But if you still feel that fear of judgment, of criticism, and it stops you from posting, it stops you from sharing your message, it stops you from having that voice, then clearly it hasn't sunk in, no matter how many times you've heard it. Let it sink in. Have compassion for those that criticize you. When people say to me, how do I stop the fear of judgment and criticism from getting to me? This is how. These two reasons are exactly how I do it every day. I've turned my fear into compassion, and I don't make it about me because it's not about me. If you're feeling triggered, you've made it about you. You have made the whole focus about you. And it's sad because people stop themselves from making an impact. People stop themselves from running a business. Some people stop their businesses altogether because they care so much about what other people think. You have to understand why other people operate that way. And when you can understand why other people operate that way, you can then start to change the way you show up. You can then start to change the way you think and how you feel. Hey, Money, I was just talking about you, girl. You have to go back and watch the start of this live stream because I was just talking about you. Actually, I'll tell you again. But I was telling the guys about how over the 10 days that I was with you, you've like really stepped up into your business. And you made me laugh because you said to me at one point, you're like, yeah, but you don't care about what other people think about you. You know, like it's easy for you to do a live stream. And I turned around and I was just like, no, it wasn't. It wasn't easy for me to just get on a live stream when live streams first started. It wasn't easy for me to just post how I felt when I started my business. I had to understand emotional intelligence. I had to understand why other people were responding and reacting the way they were. And how this fear of just stepping up in business and having a voice, the fear of what other people think, is such a massive thing. Such a massive thing. So if you guys have any questions around this live, let me know below. I can answer them for you. If you are watching the replay and you have any questions around this topic, or you'd like me to elaborate on something even more or explain something even more, let me know below and I will definitely jump on and answer them. But I hope that this has given you guys some clarity around how to let go of the fear of what other people think, and I really want you to put it into practice. Don't just listen to this live stream and go, yeah, like, I get it, or I'm pumped, or I'm going to go and do this. Really let it sink in and practice it. I remember when I first started getting comments on my posts that weren't positive, comments from people that started to not agree with what I was saying. First of all, that's a sign that you're on the right path, because you are not for everyone. And if your posts all the time resonate with everyone, then you're trying to please everyone. So if people are starting to not agree with what you're saying, then you're on the right path, right? But I remember when I first started getting criticism on my posts or live streams, I would delete the comment so that other people couldn't see I was being criticized. I would delete the comment. Now I leave it. But I had to put this into practice. I would literally have to talk myself through it. I'd get a negative comment, and instead of being reactive and deleting it, I would talk myself through it. I'd go, okay, there's a negative comment. Someone has criticized you. Someone has judged you. Let's work through it. You know that this isn't about you. You know that this is about them. You have probably said something that has triggered them. Have compassion for this person. Or they are looking at you, wishing they had the confidence to have a voice, wishing they were living a certain lifestyle. And I would leave it. I would work myself through it. So just knowing this, guys, isn't enough. You need to apply it. You need to now hop off this live stream, start using your voice, and work through these 2 steps every time you get judgment, every time you feel fear, every time you want to do something, but you let that fear creep in before you've even done it yet. Maybe you haven't even had criticism, but you're worrying about the criticism before it's even happened. Talk yourself through it. Put this into practice, because it's the only way you're going to shift that fear. It's the only way you're going to take action, is by putting what I'm saying into practice every single day. So like I said, if you've got any questions around this, let me know below. I will be more than happy to jump on and answer them for you. Share this live stream with anyone that you think needs to hear it. Tag one of your friends in it if you think they need to hear it, because I would love to know your thoughts. Have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world, and I will speak to you guys soon. Bye.